Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the Season 1 series recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 1, Episode 10, Rules of Enragement. You guys, this is the season finale of Season 1 already. There were only 10 episodes. I believe there are only 2 reunions, but I will be covering those as well because there's some stuff I cannot wait for. Anyway, let's get into this episode. We open with Giselle and Robin taking their kids horseback riding, or for lessons, horseback riding lessons or something. I don't know. In any case, they're having a little chat. They talk about Katie and Ashley, how they called them biracial at Charisse's birthday party. They think that's crazy that they would do that without knowing their history, and they just really don't appreciate it. So Giselle said, you know what? I think we all need a come to Jesus lunch. She has decided she's going to invite all of the ladies to get together and hash out everything, air out their grievances, and move on. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. We have a little scene with Raven in her room packing up to go to school. She's so sweet. She is like the sweetest teenager ever. Karen's trying to get her to come home after 1 month, and Raven's like, well, maybe 2 months. And she's like, 2 months? No, that's too long. And then she said, you know, you're going to be turning 18 when you're away at school. So should I come on your birthday? Karen's trying to get an invitation to come to her birthday. And Raven's like, well, I mean, maybe, Mom, but like if I make friends and like if they want to do something for my birthday, maybe. Karen's like, you're going to brush me off for strangers? And Raven's like, well, they wouldn't be strangers if I made friends with them. She's like, well, just keep in mind that I gave birth to you. And Raven's like, okay, I will keep that in mind. Then she makes her promise that she won't even kiss a boy for the first year. Come on, because, you know, after midnight, boys turn crazy. And I don't want you involved in that, Raven. So will you promise me? Will you shake on it? And Raven's like, oh, God. Okay, I'm going to shake on it because this is so awkward and weird. I just want it to stop. Now we have a scene with my favorite couple, Katie and Andrew. They're in the car. They're driving to Katie's farmhouse. I guess Katie bought this when she was a model. And she just loves it because it's just like out, open air, no people around. And this is one of the few times that she and Andrew are getting away without the kids. So she's excited about that. They do start talking about the party and Giselle and Robin, of course. And now Andrew calls Giselle and Robin bug-eyed weirdo and stick in the mud. I mean, if anybody else called Giselle a bug-eyed weirdo, I would think that was funny. Coming from Andrew, it just pisses me off. I don't think he should be talking about women like that. I think it's kind of disgusting. It reminds me of the way he described Karen to Ashley when they went on that double date and he first met Ashley and Michael. I can't remember. He called her old and I don't remember exactly, but it was unflattering and it was pretty like not cool for a man to describe a woman like that. I don't like it. It just reinforces why I don't like Andrew. Too many opinions about your girlfriend's friends. All right, so anyway, while they're talking about them, Giselle calls her. So she answers the phone, puts Giselle on speakerphone, but Andrew's being quiet so that Giselle doesn't know he's there listening. Also, not cool. Don't do that. So they're kind of like quietly giggling and laughing at her, which I don't know why I'm triggered by this, but I just think it's so juvenile, and also because those two are disgusting people, Katie and Andrew. I just don't like them. Anyway, Giselle is calling to invite her to the Come to Jesus lunch. And Katie's like, okay, well, I mean, I'll try. And she goes, oh, come on, it wouldn't be the same without you. You have to be there. And she's like, okay, I'll try. Okay, thanks, Katie. They hang up and Andrew says, well, I wish it was FaceTime so that I could have seen her bug eyes. What a jerk. This is This is one of the reasons why I cannot wait for the reunion. I just can't wait till Giselle sees this scene and confronts Katie about it. Can't wait. Then Andrew, sweetheart that he is, says, oh, did I tell you I was going to Scotland? She's like, no. And the only good thing about it is that wiped that smirk right off Katie's face. He goes, yeah. And she goes, why are you going to Scotland? And he said, to traverse the land. And she goes, are you going to go play golf? And he goes, yep, for a week. Again, dude, you literally live on a golf course. So you have to go to Scotland now to play golf? He's just so disgusting. So Katie said, am I invited? Andrew, no. You have 3 little mouths to take care of. I love how, to Andrew, they're Katie's kids. You've got 3 little mouths to feed. I don't have any kids. But when Katie talks about it, it's like Andrew is their father. Andrew loves them. All right, now we are at Ashley's house, and Ashley wants to have a baby. Michael doesn't seem super excited about it. Michael, I'm pretty sure, has grown children from a previous marriage. So I guess he's not like super excited about starting over again. But Ashley, she's just aching to have a child. And she said, maybe after we open the restaurant, like a month after. And he said, if they break even, he'll agree to have a kid. So, yeah, she's got the names picked out already. Hawthorne or MJ. I don't know which would be for a girl or which would be for a boy, but it doesn't really matter. Back at Katie's farmhouse, are you guys sitting down? Because something tragic happens. Andrew gets down on 1 knee, 2 knees, and proposes to Katie. Out in a field, which, I don't know, she's acting like it was, there's this very special spot. What does she call it? The vortex or something, where she just thinks it's very magical. So they go out there, and first she's like, oh, the caregiver for the place, he really mowed the lawn down short. He doesn't normally do it this short. And then she sees this, I'm sorry, you guys, haphazard, like, flower pots in sort of a semicircle. It looked like it was the remains of like a satanic worship thing. I don't know. Whatever. It was fine. There was nothing to it. Andrew gets down. Well, he tries to get down on 1 knee, but then he gets down on 2. Later, Katie says it's because his jeans were too tight. Those jeans were not tight. I don't know what his problem was. How old is Andrew? Because he could barely get back up again without almost falling over and knocking Katie over, which honestly, it was the best part of this for me. Anyway, so Katie says she needs to think about it. Just kidding. She immediately says yes, which is dumb. Then he jokes about the engagement. She says something about like finally being married, and he's like, oh, well, we're not married yet. This is just engagement. So, we're going to have a nice long engagement, right? 5 to 7 years. Katie, I don't like you, but no woman should have to deal with Andrew. Let Michael have him. All right, the next scene is at Giselle's house, and she is cooking with her daughters, and they're making dinner, and then Curtis, her father, comes over. Then we find out that Curtis, who, if you guys remember, did a lot of work with the civil rights movement in Texas, and he was some kind of a lawmaker there. I don't know what he did exactly. But if you guys remember that guy, Herman, that she was dating, that wanted to keep dating her, he was like coming on a little too strong. He's a congressman. He managed to speak on behalf of Giselle's dad, and they're going to be honoring him in Washington, D.C. So that's pretty exciting. So he's there for a couple days for that. He tells the girls a story about when he used to work with Martin Luther King Jr. And he said they were having a fundraiser. It was a concert to raise money. And he said, I said, Martin, I don't think we sold enough tickets. So Martin Luther King got down on his knees and he spoke to God, and he got up and he said, give away the tickets. This is a fundraiser. Give the tickets away. Okay, then, and I don't know how much like how immediate this was. But he said then a limo pulled up and a guy got out and said, I want to buy tickets to the concert. He gave Curtis, Giselle's dad, he gave him a check for $25,000. And Curtis went to like pack up the tickets and the guy said, no, give them away, which is exactly what Martin Luther King Jr. said like moments before or a day before. I don't know what the time frame was. But it was enough to like give him chills. So it was a cool story. And then one of Giselle's daughters goes, that was a long story. But it was a good story. Next, we have a bunch of quick shots. We see Giselle and her dad Curtis in Washington, D.C., where he's being honored. We see Raven going off to college. Ashley's giving a tour of their new restaurant. And now it's time for the Come to Jesus lunch. It's at the Old Anglers Inn. I mean, it sounds like the worst restaurant ever, but it is very pretty. It's like outside, and of course, it's a nice restaurant. So Giselle and Robin get there first. In Giselle's confessional, she said, we are not getting up from this table until everyone has aired their petty little differences, and we can wipe the slate clean and move on. So there's a reserved sign on the table, and Giselle decides she's going to use that for something a little later. Karen is the next to arrive. Karen's like, I know you invited all the ladies, but there are some people here that I'm having a problem with, so I'm a little bit nervous. Charisse is the next to arrive. They're having a nice conversation, but, you know, the problem children aren't there yet, Katie and Ashley. So then Ashley does arrive. And Giselle's like, I'm sorry, I'm getting hungry, and Katie is really late right now. Do you think she's going to come? She's your friend. Have you talked to her? And Ashley said, no, I haven't talked to Katie at all. So she didn't know if she was going to come. So they all order their food. And then Giselle tells them that, okay, whoever is holding this reserve sign will be the only one who gets to speak. And then, you know, they'll pass it around. It's dumb. Karen thinks it's dumb. But she gives it to Karen first. And Karen, oh my God. Karen goes off on Ashley. Ashley, you are 10 years older than my daughter. You do not need to be her friend. You once told me that you and Michael use the pull-out method. Yeah, oh, it gets better. I suggest you let him stay in, ejaculate, procreate, and have a child of your own. The other ladies are like dying right now. Until you become a woman, a real woman, a mother, which, Karen, not cool. Being a mother does not make you a real woman, okay? But this is Karen. A mother, do not ever, ever put my child's name in your mouth. Hold up a second. Is this all because Ashley said she would like to get to know Raven? Because that's all we ever heard her say. Karen acts like Ashley said, I would like to get to know Raven and have her join Nexium with me. I mean, it's insane. Karen, although very entertaining, is way over the top with this. Ashley responds by telling Karen that she's very judgmental and that she thinks that just because Michael came to surprise me at our beach house, you're acting like we're swingers or something, and that, you know, Michael was trying to get in your pants. Giselle decides that we're done with this issue. It's funny. And now Katie shows up. So she sits down and Giselle tells her the rules of the table. You have to be holding the reserve sign. And she said, but Charisse has been waiting to say something. So Charisse, and she goes to pass it to Charisse, and Katie grabs it and says, well, I'm going to grab it first and say something. I'm engaged. Well, everyone congratulates her and they all want to see the ring. And that's kind of nice for a second. And then Robin takes the reserved sign and says, Katie, I have something I want to say to you. And Katie's like, oh, no. I'm in my bubble of happiness right now. I don't want anything unpleasant. Well, sorry, Katie, because that's the whole point of this Come to Jesus lunch. Robin says, Katie, I think you need to have a Black history lesson. Katie's like, what? Uh-oh. Robin is still wondering if grabbing each other's butts is a white man thing. This gets heated between Giselle and Katie now. I don't know how Robin got out of it. Robin was trying to say, I'm just asking a question because I don't know. And Katie was like, why do you think I'm an expert? And she said, well, because you are with a white man and she's married to a white man and I've never been with a white man, so I don't know what white men are like. Like I said, this gets heated between Giselle and Katie now because Katie said, Giselle, you're acting like I can't be African American and white, which I am. And Giselle said, no, that's not it. You act like it's not okay to be Black. Oh, Katie did not like that. So she said, I never said that. She's going off on her. And then she said, and the things that come out of your mouth, Giselle, you are a stupid woman who says stupid things. Oh, God. I would never say that to Giselle's face. You know, the funny thing is, that's the second time Katie kind of went after Giselle. Giselle does not come back at her hard at all. Well, this thing got turned right side up awfully quick. It's Charisse, actually, who smooths things over by saying, listen, I'm not biracial, but Giselle, Robin, I do think you guys talk about race a lot. And I do think you make it an issue often, and I can understand why that would bother someone who is biracial. And then Karen kind of jumps on that, and she said, I think that we all need to respect each other's boundaries. Ashley, if you can disagree with me, but if you'll allow me to say that I think with you and Michael, I think the two of you are a very strong couple. And I think you might not respect other people's boundaries, like mine, for example. And Ashley said, okay, I can respect that. And she goes, well, thank you for saying that. I think if we can respect each other's boundaries, then race is not an issue. Then that softens up Katie, and she says to Giselle, well, then I apologize for calling you stupid, Giselle. Sometimes I'll just say things that, I don't really mean. And Giselle's like, well, yeah, we know that about you, Katie. And then she said, well, are you apologizing to me, Katie? And she said, yeah. And Giselle's like, well, thank you. So it's all good. They ask the waiter for champagne to celebrate Katie's engagement and each other. Charisse suggests that they all go around the table and say one word that represents all of them. So she starts and she says, happiness. Okay. Not sure that they're all happy, but I thought that was a weird one. I thought she was going to say like strong or independent or something. No, happiness. So now we get the ending little like final wrap up on each woman, and we start with Charisse's. Eddie continues to live in New Jersey. Charisse can now doggy paddle unassisted. No word yet on when Shasha's debut album will drop. These are as dumb as the taglines. Okay, the next one is Katie, and her word is love. Yeah. Her final card says, Katie and Andrew's engagement is going according to his plan. They broke up, got back together again, but they still haven't set a wedding date. Andrew's hoping for June, 2022. Well, that's only 2 years away now, but at the time of this filming, it was 7 years away. So I don't even know if I want to. You guys probably know if they're married or not. I'm not even sure if I want to know. I hope they're not. Next is Karen. Her word is wealth. Karen and Ray are still dating. Did I mention that that's what she said to Raven, that your father and I are dating again? Because Raven was going away to school and they're empty nesters, yeah, yada, yada, whatever. So this says, Karen and Ray are still dating. So far, Ray's movie choices haven't been as thrilling as the Mile High Club. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I know what the Mile High Club is, but Oh, because Karen was learning how to fly? Did anything ever happen with that? Is she a pilot now? Why do I doubt that? Then it goes on to say that Karen lasted 1 whole month before visiting Raven at school, and they talk 4 times a day. Now it's Giselle, and her word, bear in mind, she could have picked any word at all to describe the women. Her word is all. Okay. Nobody questioned that. Nobody said, what does that mean? How does that describe us? I don't know. Maybe because they were all together. But we find out that Giselle's makeup line is called Every Hue Beauty. She has no plans to get back with Jamal. And Herman is still waiting for date number 4 ever. She already said earlier that she's not dating Herman anymore, so I think he's going to have a long wait. Next is Ashley, and her word is dynamic. Ashley's restaurant, Oz, opened in October. They still haven't broken even. That was the condition for having a child, remember? The planets have not aligned for their Gemini or Leo baby. And finally, Robin. Her word is progress. Robin and Juan's house went into foreclosure. They moved into a smaller house with an updated kitchen. I don't know what that means. Did they mention something about the kitchen? Maybe. Juan's still going to the mailbox, ... and then coming right back. I also don't know what that means. When he left her, did he say he was going to the mailbox and not come back? I don't really remember. Anyway, that is it for season 1. Wow. All right, like I said, I am excited for the 2 reunions. I will do them over the next 2 Mondays. And you guys, I think it's going to be good. First of all, I want to know what Katie and Andrew have to say about the trash talking that Andrew does about the other women, because I think that's disgusting. And also, on this little previews for part 1. Well, actually, I don't know if it was part 1 or part 2, but they showed a little preview of the reunion, and there is something going on between Charisse and Giselle. They're kind of at each other at the reunion. And I think that's super weird because other than the very first episode, Charisse's crab boil and Giselle bringing her friend Cal and then them, acting all foolish in her kitchen and stuff. Since then, Charisse and Giselle have been fine. They didn't have a beef with each other. Giselle went to her birthday party. So something must have happened after filming, and I'm anxious to find out what. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am looking forward to the reunions, and then the next franchise in the season 1 series that I am going to cover is going to be Orange County. That is what started it all, you guys. I can't remember when I started watching Orange County. Maybe season 4, something like that. So it's all going to be new to me, but it's going to be a little bit different because I know Vicky and I know some of these other ladies. Yeah, we'll see. It should be interesting. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are liking this, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all your comments. I'm always interested in what you have to say. And I will be back next week for the reunion of the Real Housewives of Potomac. I hope you join me. Bye.